Hello, I'm back again. Welcome to the Clarity Challenge. Today we are continuing from our last conversation. We're looking at some of the strengths you need to develop, some of the strengths you need to be conscious about. You probably have them. You need to dust them and engage them in order to be able to help your partner deal with their weaknesses. Don't forget, we've been looking at anger as a case study, and the first strength we talked about was that of validation. The second and the third strengths we talked about has to do with patience that graduates into compassion. Today we want to look at another strength you need to help your partner with their weakness. That strength is number 3 or number 4, the capacity to think long term, the capacity to be strategic, thinking long term. Listen, when you deal with partner weaknesses, when you deal with a partner that is on drugs, when you deal with a partner that's struggling with pornography, when you're dealing with a partner that is struggling with anger, whatever they're struggling with, in as much as, like I always said, you saw these things when you accepted to go into the marriage, or you were more interested in mundane inconsequentials, you didn't take the time to hold conversations, ask questions, and get to know these important aspects of their lives. In my previous videos, I have said that when people are like, you can't know everything about a person before you get married to them, I'm like, that's a statement of fact. Nobody said you should know everything about a person. But listen, to not know about whether your core values are covered in a relationship before you moved into them means that you are lazy, enigmatically lazy. Listen, you are lazy mentally, you are lazy technically, you are lazy psychologically, you are lazy socially, you are lazy spiritually, you are lazy left, right, and center. You can't go into a permanent relationship without ascertaining, without ensuring, without making sure that your core values are covered. Don't go and know everything. Well, make sure your core values are covered. No, you must have your non-negotiables. I categorized non-negotiables into 7, but that's not the talk for today. I'm going to do that another day. Your core values must be covered. Are you mentally compatible? Are you socially compatible? Are you sexually compatible? Are you emotionally compatible? Are you spiritually compatible? Your non-negotiables must be in their proper places, covered in a relationship before you go into it. You don't just do that. So it's the reason why I'm unapologetic when people go into a relationship and meet situations that they ought to have determined, ascertained, before they go into the relationship. They got to face it. They got to face it, except you don't want to do it. You want to check out. But like I always tell people, listen, every human being has some kind of weakness. When you leave your partner to go look for another partner, trust me, that partner also has their weaknesses. The only difference is that they may not be weak in the same area your present partner is weak, but they sure have their weaknesses. Now, your own weakness that your present partner is having understanding and navigating with you, they may not be patient with your own weaknesses. So you have to make up your mind what you want to do. And what we're teaching, what I'm explaining, are the things that can help you navigate. And I don't care whether you jump out of this relationship and move to the next, you still need what I'm saying. Because when you get into that other relationship, you still have weaknesses in that person's life that you're going to navigate. Hey, smell the coffee. There are no perfect people anywhere in the world. Smell the coffee. The person you painted, conjured up, architecturally designed in your mind as the spouse you are looking for, that perfect entity does not exist. He's not been created. The last time I checked, he's not likely to be created. Those kind of people exist in heaven. They don't exist here. So we don't have perfect people. So if you imagine to have a perfect person as your partner for life, You probably will find that in heaven where marriages are not allowed. So we're just going to be men. Of course, sexes are not even there, like I'm told. So you better face it. And that's why I talk to singles. Be intentional. Listen, the truth is that some weaknesses are difficult to navigate for some people. What is impossible for you to navigate on and with is somebody's mincemeat. It's something somebody navigates easily. So if a weakness is not something you can navigate, at the point of courtship, you identify it, you check out. To move in with an intent, thinking that you have the control over people to change them, you'll be shocked to your teeth. That the more you try to control a person, the worse they get. That same person is a beast in the house. Is a saint in church. Is a saint in the marketplace. Is a saint in the office. She's a saint in social clubs. But she comes back home and she is a miserable monster. That's what you turned her into. That's what you made out of her because of handling. And all we're talking about here is about handling. I hope you get value out of it. Think long term. Listen, pick your battles. Think long term. I repeat, you don't fight every battle. Pick your battles and think long term. Listen, you must learn to lose some fights so that you can win the war. Listen, there are some fights you better ignore. Listen, being addicted to details, I have an affinity for details. It's not advantageous here. It's not going to do any benefit here. Being given to details is good when it comes to strategy, when it comes to planning, when it comes to ruthless execution of vision goals. But I'm suggesting that when it comes to pointing out every detail, pointing out every comment, pointing out every body language, oh, why? Yes. You guys have agreed that the toilet seat should always be covered. Yes. In the last conversation, you said the toothpaste should be pressed from the end, not from the bottom middle. Yes. The last time you said you wanted them to help in some domestic stuff. Yes. All kinds of conversation. I'm saying this. Learn to lose some fights. Learn to overcome some stuff. Learn to behave like certain things didn't happen, especially when those things are within the conference or the circumference of their weakness. Let it go. Listen, behave like it didn't happen. Listen, you already know they are weak in that area. Like I said before, you're supposed to be expecting that they act that way. You're supposed to see it coming. You're supposed to and sometimes I wonder if the problem is about where the toothpaste is pressed. So why not get a second paste? So your partner has her paste, you have your paste. For crying out loud. Get her a paste for herself. So she presses her paste where she wants. You press your paste where you want, for crying out loud. Okay, if it's about covering and opening the seat toilet, pay for a bigger house. Let your partner have their own toilet. Let them open and close it the way they want. Now, I'm not saying these things are right. I'm not saying they are wrong. I'm not in support of this person or in support of that person. But I'm saying we can't make a fight out of every issue. No, we can't. You don't have to being outspoken. Being outspoken as a temperament does not mean you got to talk about everything. You be outspoken about important things. No, listen. Being upfront has its benefits, but you must be intentional about where you use it. Because it becomes counterproductive when you're being upfront and the entire house is on fire. You don't want to do that. No, you shouldn't do that, even if you wanted to. So don't fight every battle. Learn to lose some fights. There is a bigger war before you. Leave little fights and focus. Listen, stop wasting your energy. Stop wasting your resources on a battle that you cannot win. Listen, if as a family, as a couple, You have vision goals, strategic. As a couple, you need to have vision goals about your financial life, vision goals about your career, your profession, vision goals about, have I talked about your family finance? Vision goals about what you intend to do spiritually, vision goals for the children, the kind of school they're supposed to attend, what their outcome will be in life, vision goals for the man where he should be in the next 5 years, vision goals for the woman where she should be in the next 5 years. There has to be vision goals clearly defined, clearly expressed. There has to be vision goals that graduate into mission goals. So what kind of books are you guys going to be reading for this month to prepare, to equip, to position you to accomplish those vision goals? What are the things you're going to be doing? When you have incredible, amazing, propelling and compelling vision goals like this, you can't let where somebody pressed toothpaste to mess up that kind of vision goal. Sometimes I think that the absence of focus, vision, and direction might be the reason why we make a mountain out of a mole, out of a handhold. We make a mountain out of things that doesn't matter. Of course. The more you insist that a partner must press the toothpaste from a certain point, the more certain partners insist intentionally to press it from the wrong place. No, because of the way you talk, because of the way you address it, because of the way you make it too important. So some people become difficult, uncooperative, and obstinate. A change of attitude, a change of priority can make a lot of difference. Listen, stop fighting over every little difference. Listen, stop trying to be in control. Listen, we need to celebrate our differences, for crying out loud. We need to be glad about our differences. Listen, there's something beautiful about variety. Listen, there's something beautiful about having different colors, different shades, different approach to stuff. There's something beautiful about our differences. We need to study our differences. We need to itemize our differences. We need to celebrate our differences. We need to accept our differences. We need to come to the point where we're talking with family, or we're talking with friends, or we're talking with our partners, or we're talking with anybody, and we're like, I know where you will press the paste. That's my husband for you. That's my wife for you. That means you've accepted that that's who they are, and you are no longer trying to control. You're no longer trying to remodify. You're no longer trying to repackage them, remodel them to your specification. Who made you the specifier? No, who gave you who gave you the authority to decide what is standard behavior, for example? No, who did that? Are you the standard organization of your country? Excuse me. What makes you think that the way you think it should be done is the best way it should be done? No, what makes you think that? It means you're not the person giving the perspectives. Listen, I repeat, stop fighting over every little difference. Listen, expect that there will be difference. Expect that your partner will be different. If you are planning to marry somebody who thinks like you, talks like you, dresses like you, presses toothpaste like you, handles things like you, it is not likely going to happen. There will always be those areas where you two will be different. Accept the difference. Celebrate the difference. Honor them for being different. You'll be amazed what that will result in your relationship. This is so profound. Let me end this session by saying this. Listen, if you try to win every argument, I give you a very short time, you're going to lose your marriage. If you try to win every argument, you will lose your spouse. If you try to win every argument, you will lose your father, you will lose your mother, you will lose your son, you will lose your daughter. When people are dealing with weaknesses, you must validate them. You must be patient with them and be compassionate. Number 4, you must be thinking long term. You must be thinking about what to forget in order to get the ultimate, what to ignore in order to get the ultimate. You want to pick your battles and be intentional what you comment about and what you behave like it never happened. I hope you got some value here. Thank you so much for your attention. I'll see you again in my next episode. Don't forget